last chapter, and after that will be case study from Dmitry, and after that will be workshop for you powered by Igor to interact with you regarding your thoughts, your ideas in each vertical. Which vertical do you want to choose for your future startups, and how, which kind of questions or ideas do you have to expand to each vertical in fintech. Last chapter will belong to P2p, P2b, online lending services. Hope that most of you or all of you are familiar with these words. For sure, P2p, P2b online lending vertical or verticals. It is the biggest vertical in fintech since the beginning. Most of money belongs to this vertical. How this vertical started to exist? I remember that in 2008 I read an article in Harvard Business Review regarding first player in this area, Lending Club, and Harvard Business Review predicted even already almost 10 years ago that this kind of players will be so big after several years, and now it's happened. But when I remember clear when I shared this article with several bankers, they thought, oh, it will never happen. And what they are trying to provide, they are trying to connect people with money with somebody who wants to borrow this money. And why they asking everybody why banks charge so much between this money which will buy from you via deposits, and why they deploy so expensive your money to borrowers. What is the magic they do between these two levels of rates? And they found that there is no magic. And finally they started to provide extremely cheap platforms to deploy your money from person to person or from person to business. Others started to provide not only this kind of services, but also started to provide opportunity. For example, you can put on the map 2 points where you live and where you work, and they will show you small businesses around you, and you will decide, for example, I want to lend my money for new fitness center in my district, not because I am the best investment or credit analyst, but because I know as customer that there is no fitness center right now in our district, and we need it as customer. And I know better than any bank that we need it. And or for example, I trust this founder of the company that we can lend the money for them. Several players like Zopa, they provide online loans very fast, not cheap, but it's mostly about convenience, how to apply and to be approved for 3 minutes through these platforms. And also they connect not only their own with their own balance sheet, they provide the ability to, for example, there are many banks, savings banks in United States or in Korea, in Japan, and they have, especially in Japan and South Korea, they have problem with overcapitalized institutional players, and how to deploy this money even if you do not have your own credit expertise inside your bank, how to deploy this money to the market. Several players belongs to, as you know, regulated players, because they are providing money, they attract money from you as lender, as investor, to their own balance sheet, and after that to deploy this money from their balance sheet. It means that they still have their own risk per assets, and several of them provide directly without any kind of pressure. Maybe you know this Philippines player pawn shop. It is online pawn shop. It is very popular area how to borrow money from somebody, and they integrate independent standalone pawn shops into their platform and gather data about potential borrowers, matching this data with other data which are available on the market from telcos or Google or other providers, and provide the opportunity also after that to pay for your loans cheaper and better than before. Regarding Lending Club, they started as P2p platform. They feature not only that they're first movers to this industry, also they focused on the best customers on the market. About 80% of their first borrowers belongs to somebody who already have, for example, mortgage, and you pay carefully for mortgage, 2 banking cards, 1 car loan, and after that you want to aggregate these loans into a bigger one, but to decrease your monthly payments, or to borrow more money, but with the same rates. And their rates weren't still cheaper than rates from banks, but vice versa. It means that they have to decline many requests. Prosper focusing to other kind of clients which rejected by traditional banks. They provided their loans with higher price, but somebody who are not able to borrow from traditional banks. Prosper, funded by Eric Schmidt, CEO of Google. And on deck, they're focusing on how to provide online loans for businesses. Especially, it's very important and interesting idea for Asia, because as I mentioned several times, here so many persons which are financial users of financial products as persons, and also as owners of micro or small businesses. And Lufax, they are providing one of the biggest fintech companies right now from China. They're providing also p2b loans for their customers, for small and medium businesses. You can find more examples, because right now only in China there are about 1,000 p2b platforms. To be honest, lines between this alternative way how to invest or to borrow money between P2P, P2B online lending services are blurred, because everybody from one vertical trying to go to other vertical. It is just about how to provide an alternative way to deploy your capital or to increase, to borrow your money.